Well, good afternoon, Friday here in Florida on my birthday today. And I hope you enjoyed the video clip of Michael Carbonaro and me in the beginning of the show. That's him as a baby.
That's an old clip then.
Blowing me up, calling me daddy. Anyway,
Carbonaro.
Happy birthday.
Oh, thanks, Jan.
I didn't know it was your birthday. Hey.
It's my birthday.
Well, we got to do it. So come on, guys. You ready? Let's just do it.
Please.
1, 2.
Happy birthday
to you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.
Oh my God.
Happy birthday.
So you say that was the worst rendition
That
ever.
was terrible. Thank you on behalf of the group,
What
and
the
I hope I passed the audition. So
That
we
was
were going to do that.
horrible.
We had that plan, but
Yeah.
John ruined it by bringing
And
up
you-
his birthday.
And you guys are very good. You should, if this doesn't work out for you, you could probably start a glee club.
Wow. We
If
were
I wasn't
supposed
so miserable, I'd start a glee club.
Wait, what is
What was
that?
that?
I'm done.
I'm done.
Yeah, I found that in my yard this morning. So
What is it?
What?
It says I'm done.
Was that left by a dog?
No, that was
No,
left by.
I think it was left by somebody who graduated.
Oh,
Done.
That's
No,
cool.
no, it was on your lawn. Maybe it was your gardener.
That's what I,
There you
that's
go.
what I thought. It was the gardener. He got finished cutting the lawn. You throw that out there.
No,
Or a
it
very
wasn't
literate dog.
that. There you go.
I'm done.
I'm done. If you look, was there a shit right next to it? Then you'll know I'm done.
There we go. We always start off with a bowel movement and end the show with a bowel movement.
Well,
What
I
is
mean,
that?
I feel good.
Like-
Look, see, empty your bowels. See, I don't know.
That's
I've been feeling kind of bound up for like 2 months, and finally, I just had that
Nice.
empty the bowel movement, man. It was just great.
It's very freeing. It's very freeing, isn't it, Mike?
Thank you for
very
sharing
free.
that with us. Jan just had a heart attack.
I know. I don't like creepy graphic stuff about that stuff, but that's okay. I'll just.
That's okay. She'll just
I'm a
unplug her.
girl.
She'll just
It's a girl
unplug her
thing.
headphones.
Yeah, where's my?
My IBS is better already.
There you
All
go.
right, we're gonna try
And is
something
that-
new.
Is that
We're
a
gonna
guy squatting, or is that's I don't
we're
know.
gonna
This
try
is
something
actually-
new on the
This
show
is
today.
medical.
Ready? We're gonna
Yes.
try
Are we ready?
something. We're gonna try something new on the show.
We're not going to
Yes.
step on each other's
We're
lines.
gonna wait until everyone finishes. That's what I was just gonna say. We're gonna wait till
Wait, what are we
everybody
doing,
finishes
John? We're gonna wait.
talking
We're gonna wait. What's that?
until the next person speaks. This is gonna be a new thing.
Okay.
And if you fail to do that, there will be consequences.
Oh,
I don't know. It just sounded good.
What kind of consequences?
We're gonna
are we
I don't
gonna
know.
Eat up.
And if anybody interrupts Joe Silky, it's double consequences.
There's not a high risk of that.
There we
Whoa.
go. Look, Mike's got monkeypox.
Wow. That's a
They're-
real
They're blaming monkeypox on the gays. Come on.
Marjorie Taylor
They are?
Greene. Marjorie Taylor Greene is blaming it on gay sex.
She is
No,
monkeypox.
everyone knows it came from space lasers. Jewish space lasers cause monkeypox.
You know, I've never had sex with a monkey. Never.
All right, let's go around the horn. What's new with you this week, Mike?
What is new? Well, besides the empty bowels, I don't know. I'm thinking about taking another trip, but I was thinking of going back to see Mother again in Florida, but I think that the rise in the COVID. Have you heard of this new? Well, excuse me if I'm a little wired. I invented a new drink today. I was going to talk about. And do you guys use Keurigs? Do you use a Keurig machine?
No.
Or the
No.
pods?
I used to.
Well, it doesn't have to be Keurig, but the pods. Do you use your pod? Because
Right.
this was. I invented this new drink totally by accident, right? So I've been drinking tea instead of coffee. But the other day I was going to have coffee. I put a coffee pod in the thing, and then I said, screw it. And I put a tea bag in the cup, forgetting I had a coffee. So it came out coffee and tea. I call it toffee, tea and coffee. So I'm like just about to come into this screen. And
Oh wow. Maybe
It
that's
sounds
the
really
bowel.
gross.
Yeah. Is that like when
really
you mix lemonade and iced
No,
tea? You get
I
an
think
Arnold
it's like
Palmer?
missing cocaine and meth.
That's an Arnold Palmer, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Arnold Pomeranian.
Nice. And what did you do this week, Mr. Silky?
No.
All right, Joe. Great.
Never at a loss for words.
Oh my God.
Come on, Joe. You can think of something.
Somebody forgot to wind him.
Oh, I went to the first annual Comedy with a K event awards. Yeah, it was pretty good.
I think we have a video of that later on, right?
And,
Comedy with a K.
eventually.
Wouldn't that be Camedy? Camedy.
No, that's it's the fake awards. That's what it is.
Oh, the
The
fake,
fake
ones.
awards. Speaking of fake, when I went to Mar-a-Lago that time, you got to see the women at that place. It's like going to a car club where everyone is totally restored.
You know what the beautiful thing is, though? You can walk up to any woman there, and if your eyes are dry, just grab a nipple and get some
Yeah.
saline.
There you go. Perfect.
Grab a
Nice.
nipple. What?
Thank you for bringing up the level again, once again.
I know, right?
We just kind of get on an even plane, and he ties an anchor and brings it
I
back down.
used to be such a clean comic.
It's yeah, but
But then you got bar mitzvah and
There you go.
That's
Yeah.
right.
He got baptized.
you got bottom.
I've had them all. I've been actually. I've never been. I've been baptized. I was never bar mitzvahed.
Nice.
that explains.
Though you're a mitzvah though.
And
Yeah.
Jan, what did you do this week?
Well, yesterday Mike helped me with my audition, and it was for a dealer in a seedy casino, 80s style, and I had to have like a guy that's on a losing streak as the dealer. So he read that part. It was perfect. So because I did the self.
So he was the first one you thought of.
That was a nice phone call. Hey, Mike, I'm looking for a loser, kind of a
Yeah,
loser
I know,
guy.
I need a degenerate gambler on a losing streak.
Yeah.
And then I
Perfect.
thought,
That's
so,
Mike.
so I had to do the self tape at home, which is like, you set up we have to do it on FaceTime. So, and then I'm recording on my phone. I got to get the lights and set up my computer in the background and move furniture. It's just such an act of Congress. No, but I mean, it's so much work that I finally got it in around 8:30. And then I have to do, say, hey, on my slate, which is, hey, my name's Jan Karam. And then I'm 5'5". I live in Los Angeles and I'm vaccinated. And I have to do that a bunch of times. Like, that was trying too hard. And then I got to do a full shot. Then they want like a full length. And so I have to back everything up, back it up. And then you see me, in the corner. Like now I use this kind of, but the bare minimal set decoration. And that's why I need those screens. We need so much stuff.
You need to have a whole green screen.
Yeah, I need the green. Yeah, because I got to cover the mess and I'm sliding furniture. But I did finally get it in. And they always say like self tapes saves money. It's like they call it EcoCast. It's like there's nothing saving money and saving.
It saves you money. It saves money from driving in. I prefer it.
And and it's green.
No, I agree, but it saves them from renting and all.
Right,
that's
exactly.
I mean, it just puts a lot of workload on us, to do the audition. But I'm grateful.
Was my input helpful, Jan? Did I help you?
Yeah,
out?
no, you were great. I did the one. My friend, I sent her a few, and she goes, "Oh, I love the one where you were like, I looked sad, and then I looked." I don't know if we're supposed to talk about the audition, and then there was another one, that smiling one. So I sent that as an option. It was hilarious.
Cool.
No, you
Nice.
were totally helpful. Yeah. So that anyway, a long story, but that took my whole day yesterday. So I guess that's my week.
Wow.
My week.
That's
See,
what
that's
happens
why-
when you
that's
kill.
why I
My
don't say
auditions.
Mike's got a penalty.
That's why I don't say much,
Double.
so that other people will have time to tell us longer stories.
Why are you saying that story was
Thanks,
too long? It was.
I didn't say it was too long. I
It
just
was
said
like-
if I went on and on, then there wouldn't be any time.
Yeah, but Jan's interesting.
Yeah, I know.
Oh,
Oh,
I
and
Come
know.
on, you guys do it. I'm just having fun.
But
Yeah,
Joe,
we,
is it-
we
know.
never,
I
but we
understand.
never do that to Joe. We do it to you.
Joe, I love you. You know that, right?
All right, Squeaky.
I
All
do.
right.
I love you, and the gay way too. There you go.
wow.
There we go.
Wow.
Again.
It
All
is
right.
fine.
Let's hear the song. I love you in a gay way.
We can't do YMCA anymore, so
Why not?
well,
'Cause
it
I
was
can't get
the
my
gay
arms in those
because it was
positions.
taken over by it was hijacked.
I get it.
I went to a show this weekend. I saw Legally Blonde, and there's a court scene where they're trying to
Are we
figure
just-
out the
Kathy.
guy was saying.
Yeah, John's doing something in his desk.
I'm sorry. They think that they're
Dress
trying to
ball.
figure out whether the guy is gay on the witness stand, and so anyway, so the big song and the number is he gay or just European?
Oh, that's funny. That's really funny. Where did you
It's
see
very
that?
funny because my son-in-law, who is from England,
Yes.
our future son-in-law, comes out. Sometimes he'll be dressed, and I'll go, "Man, that's a pretty gay outfit." He goes, "I'm not gay. I'm European."
Yeah. That's great.
You should
And
see
I
a gay
guess I didn't have anything. I guess I didn't have anything to report
You
this
didn't
week.
have
huh?
a week. What a week!
Well,
you-
I'm getting to you. I'm getting to
Craig.
you.
You are?
Craig, tell us
was
about your
aside.
gay. Tell us about your gay European outfit.
Well, actually, I didn't do anything this week, so it was okay. I did get a haircut. That's about it.
Nice.
And it looks very neat. Looks very nice.
You look very nice.
I
And
think
what did
you
I
should-
do? Yesterday, I spent the day in the pool with
Wait.
my grandson,
Oh, you didn't do your week. Okay.
Nice.
and he's 8 months old, and I know everyone says their baby's the cutest baby in the world, but this one really is.
Yeah.
And what I liked about him is he's a real water baby. You know how some babies get like a drop of water on their face and they freak out? This kid was splashed, his whole face would get wet and he'd start laughing.
Ah.
So, that was great. It was great. And he was 8 months old. He had a pair of shades and a baseball hat. So
Uh-oh.
it was really cute.
He's a grief baby.
Yeah, early grade.
Yeah, it was
By the
really
time
cute.
by the time he's 8, he's gonna have a contract out on you.
He's
Yeah.
cute. He's really, really cute.
That's funny.
So
Maybe he's Aquaman.
So
he is
Craig,
Aquaman. He's Aqua
There you go.
Baby.
aw, how cute.
So yeah, it's very cute.
So Craig, wait, you did some like promo things or something for the show, right? Didn't you do
I
some
did.
editing or something like that? You're the technical guy.
And you were complaining about the Mets.
I'm well, they did lose 13-2 last night. So it's about they were just giving the Padres a chance to feel better about themselves, I believe. The Mets are that kind of team.
They're an emotional support team. They're like my
They
dad.
are.
They're
They
an
are.
emotional
That's
support
funny.
team.
But it's,
And
the
he-
That
first,
was hilarious, right, Joe?
Yeah.
but it's the first time in a long time they're doing well, all right?
13-2. That's well.
They were in first place until July last year, until their whole team got injured.
Right.
How'd the whole team get injured?
Plane crash.
It's like dominoes. One guy slid into second. He fell over on the
The bus stopped short.
the little blue bus stopped short.
I just love when we talk about sports, really.
So does Mike.
I know. I'm like Anthony.
I
Night,
don't
Sports guy.
last night I missed the basketball game.
The basketball.
The basketball game.
The
Basketball Jones.
I like basketball.
Basketball Jones.
I
Yeah.
like
I missed
the
it
one.
too.
Basketball is interesting. Though. I just started getting into it a little bit. My brother turned me on to it. I've never, not a sports guy, but he says, "Come on, why?" We watched a few games, and I actually enjoyed it.
Basketball?
Yeah, basketball.
You only have to watch like the last 3 minutes. though, right?
Baseball's is boring as shit, but basketball, at least the action is constant. Football, it's constant.
I love baseball.
I love baseball.
Curling is the sport of kings, really.
What is
I
it?
knew that.
Bowling,
Curling.
curling.
Oh, curling. Yeah.
Yuck,
I like
yuck, yuck. There's just a bunch
Couple
of
of
guys
months.
walking around going, yuck, yuck. I'm curling. I'm curling.
About
Sweet
6 months
me.
ago, last season, I opened up the newspaper and there was a picture of my daughter sitting courtside at a Knicks
Wow.
game with Emmy
Nice.
Rossett and all these other famous people.
Amy,
Wow,
Amy,
your daughter's
Amy,
She said it's totally different when you're sitting courtside.
Emily.
Yeah, must
I gotta-
be.
Bet. I never
Back when
you
the
know.
Nets,
Go ahead, Craig. Sorry.
back when the Nets were at the Nassau Coliseum, and after they lost Julius Irving, and the annual, I don't know, their attendance was like 18 people a game. we were able to pay for general admission and go down courtside, and you can feel the heat coming off the bodies.
Yeah, I
'Cause
can imagine.
oh, it's incredible.
See, I know I would have been a big sports fan, say in the Roman days. Like I would have been at the Coliseum every day to watch the gladiators kill each other. You know that? Yeah, exactly. Joe would have been there.
Just here goes Joe.
I would have been there at every game. I would have been there.
Yeah. That's funny.
Well, that was when you were a kid. What else did you do as a kid?
What else did I do? Well, well, I mean, I grew up in the project, so we had interesting games. Like I remember this one. We had a game I don't think anyone's ever played. It was called Umgawa, where Umgawa, it was like tag, but Umgawa was the guy who was hitting. We took a spear. What you did is you grab a stick off a bush, like a spear. We made a spear, and Umgawa would hunt you down, and he would throw the spear. And if he stabbed you with the spear, then you were Umgawa.
Wait a second. Is this like, really a real game, or is this something you made up?
No, I swear this is a real game we played in the projects when I was a kid.
I thought it was that joke. And first, but before
Umgawa.
No, it was a real game. We actually,
wasn't that from like F Troop or something in Gawa?
No, that was the what was that? What was the name of the tribe? The Umgawi. The Fagawi. Where the Fagawi?
The Hagawi.
Is that what it was? That's very funny.
Umgawa awards.
Did people get hurt?
No, I mean, we didn't sharp. We just, you would throw. Well, I guess people did get hurt now and then, but it was totally unintentional.
That's the funniest thing I've ever heard in my life. Let's play a game where we're going to throw a spear at you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's easier for me. It was good because I could run, but I couldn't run as fast as some of these other kids. So it's like a spear travels a lot faster than I could.
Yeah. You were faster than this. No, the spear was faster than you. So
that's right. Isn't that a saying? The spear is mightier than the. No, I don't know.
The sword.
The sword. Faster than.
That was besides playing. Like we would play tackle football in the street. Trust me, that hurt more than Umgawa. You get tackled in the street, that hurts more than getting hit by a blunt.
And I'm sure in the projects there was like a lot of glass in the streets too, right?
Oh yeah, mostly by us. We just bust the ball. We was crazy, whatever.
Yeah.
That sounds horrifying.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. I wouldn't choose any other way to grow up. I grew up with every ethnic background people you can think of. There was, races. It was just like everyone was, it was, you took a person by who they were, not what. And, the rank, I think that my sense of humor was created there because we'd rank the hell out of each other. And even though we would talk, they'd make fun of me about being Jewish. They'd make fun about them being whatever they were. But it wasn't like a racist thing. We were trying to have fun.
Yeah.
And look how non-diverse you grew up. Look how you turned out.
There you go.
a big palooka.
Yeah.
That's my favorite line of jazz.
Palooka.
I love palooka.
I know.
And what about you, Jan?
Oh, what are we talking about?
Tell us about your childhood.
Oh, my childhood, like overall. No, once I started, let's see. Oh, these kids wanted a campfire in the desert, so it was like highly desert, dry. So there was.
Where did you grow up?
Oh, it's Superior, Arizona. Yeah, small town. So I guess I think I lit the fire to do a campfire, and then for the younger kids, and then it started a fire, and then I had to call the
firemen,
the fire people. Yeah, and then
the fire brigade,
the fire people.
Then they were telling my mom. My mom was outside with the neighbors. I mean, nothing. It didn't get into a big blaze or anything. And then they were telling my mom how bad I was and that I'm the one. And then she stood up for me and said, "Don't tell my daughter. That don't talk badly about my daughter. She is not bad." And she really defended me because they were just kind of trashing on me. And it's like, no, girl doesn't play that. So that was a good childhood memory. You know what I mean? Like in terms of doing something, those guys asked for help, and I was helping them, but it was a dumb.
So you're saying you were an arsonist, is what you're saying?
That's early arson. The first
God bless Mom for standing up for you, though. I mean, they used to bring me to my mother, and they go, "Mike did this, that, and the other thing," and she go, "Yeah, I know."
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, they were trying to burn me at the stake. Like, throw her in the fire.
I had a little arsenic tendency in my life too. I think I told you this, guys, off the air once, but my father had just built. We had a basement in our house. In order to get to the basement, you had to go through the house and down the stairs. So my father, Mr. Do-It-Yourself, decided he was going to put in a basement door and dug out and put in concrete stairs and put in another door, which was a disaster because every time it rained, it would leak and fill up the basement. So while he was trying to figure it out, he decided that he'd put this like tarp, remember tarps were made out of canvas with paint all over them?
Yep.
And he put this canvas tarp over it. So my friend was over and they had a barbecue and everyone was in the house. And my father had those tongs to move like charcoals around.
Right.
Yeah.
So my buddy goes, watch this. And he took one, he threw it on the concrete pavement and all sparks came out. He goes, look, it looks like fireworks.
Oh,
So I
wow.
go, wonder if we throw one on the roof.
What?
Whether it would look like. So I chucked one up on the roof and all those sparks came down. It looked really cool. And he's going, that's really cool. So we kept doing it about 3 or 4 times. And on the 4th one, the shower sparks came down, hit the canvas, and the whole thing went up in flames.
Oh,
John,
my
can
Well,
I ask you just one question?
What?
Why did you hate your father?
My father
Why?
came running out with the hose, and he's like spraying the thing off. And this is him. He's spraying off the tarp, and he's going, "You're an idiot."
Did he beat you?
No, he was really forgiving. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to burn the
That's
house
the difference. My father would have beat the living shit out of me.
down. It was kind of crazy. And what about you, Joe?
I remember going to, you remember May's department store?
Sure.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So it's a department store. It was in like this town. And I remember going there with my mother. I was like maybe 6 years old. My mother was very high strung, very nervous, always worried about stuff. And I am bored out of my mind because we're shopping for like clothes or something like that for me. And I just couldn't stand it. So I see this I see the little display with these mannequins. So I decide I'm going to climb up there. I climbed up there and I just decided to freeze pose. So I'm just standing there like that. I'm like 6 or 7 years old and I'm just
Joe's
standing.
expert.
Yeah, right. I'm just standing there. And all of a sudden my mother's calling me. I don't answer because I'm a mannequin and mannequins don't talk. So,
Like the Worm comic.
you're right, exactly. So like I'm standing and my mother starts calling me and then she starts like screaming and carrying on and like she thought someone stole me or something like that. And saleswoman comes over and says, like, I can't find my son. I don't know what happened. I think someone kidnapped him. And I'm just standing there like that. And she goes, is that him?
That's hilarious.
Boy, oh boy, did I get in trouble, man.
That is a great story.
And
It is.
Joe has carried that to this day because he's still like a mannequin.
And I
Stick with
didn't
what-
move. I didn't even blink. Didn't say a word.
Wow.
And if you
I don't know
wasn't
how that
good at
woman didn't know I was. I wouldn't how that
'Cause you-
woman didn't know I was.
Because
a
you should have. The mistake you made was not putting on some of the Maze wardrobe. You should have put on like one of the hats or something,
Little
so
hat.
you'd look like one of the mannequins.
But that's where he got his mime skills, early mime.
Yeah, that worked out great. That worked out great.
Yeah. Right.
What about you, Craig?
Well, first of all, my mother's name was May, so I always thought May's was her store. But I was a little idiot. Anyway, when I was
Don't
8,
belittle yourself
now I'm
like
a
that.
big idiot. When I was 8, we had these big storage sumps on my block. There'd be a stump on each side of it's a big ditch. It's a drainage ditch, is basically
Right.
what it was. And in the winter, when it snowed, we would cut the fence and we would sleigh ride. It was fantastic.
Yeah, it's like 45-degree angle side. So
It was all, but no, on the 4 corners, they had these big cement tubes,
where the
tunnels.
water came in.
Right.
Or yeah, and they were about 10 feet high. And so these older kids, I was like having fun. They go, "Hey, kid, you think you good with your sled?" I'm like, "Yeah." He goes, "Do you think you could jump that?" And they kind of dared me in front of her. And I'm like 8 years old, like, "Yeah, I could jump that." They go, "Really? You think?" Because when we were sliding down, they made a little bump, so we were jumping. And so yeah, I could jump that. And I went to do it, and I said, I get on top of the hill. Basically it's all concrete, and there's like rocks and boulders. And I'm like, okay, I'll just have to push real hard to fly over that, And you don't realize when you're a kid that when you go down a rocky hill like that, you're not going to get any speed.
Yeah.
And I hit the edge of the cement and flipped over and crashed. My sled went bouncing away, and I landed on all the rocks, and I'm just laying there like dying. And all my friends actually put me on my sled. I lived right down the block. And they dragged me home like I was a dead gladiator.
Left them in front of the door and ran.
Well,
Ding dong, run.
Thank God they didn't like set you on fire and push you out in the snow like a Viking.
Yeah. But now
fortunately, very fortunate.
Now we know who Craig is. Craig is the people pleaser. So Craig, I'm willing to bet that you still couldn't do that. You couldn't do that. Now that you've grown and you've got strong legs and you can run and stuff, you couldn't do that with your sleigh. You just
Mike, I now please people in different ways.
Oh,
He's a people pleaser.
Oh yeah.
Are you a people pleaser? You think?
Not for women, no. Only for guys.
So if you're asking for yourself, the answer is no.
All right, here's a question for all of you to think about a second. What is your earliest childhood memory?
Oh,
I have this. I remember. That's weird. You'd ask that.
Oh,
this is the weirdest thing, and it's going to really make me seem kind of weird, but I guess I am. You remember what do you call those? They were like horses on a spring,
Yeah, like a rocking horse, like
whatever the hell it's called. Yeah,
yeah.
My first, this is maybe my second memory, but for some reason, I got up in the night and there was Vaseline. I guess use Vaseline on babies. And I took the Vaseline and I rubbed it all over this horse.
And you what? I'm sorry.
I rubbed it all over this horse. I took Vaseline.
You
and
actually
I rubbed
did this, or you dreamed this?
No, I actually did this. My first memory is standing in the crib, and I could hear my mother and people outside. But that was a boring memory. The second memory I have is taking Vaseline, and don't ask me why. Like I just rubbed it all over this horse, and I don't know how old I could have been. I couldn't have been more. I was still in the crib. I had to climb over the thing.
Say like
get
16 or 17?
Yeah, like 18. I don't know, something like that. Because I did have a Vaseline and a beer. So,
Vaseline and a beer. That's Saturday night in my house.
That's the George.
And then what happened?
Did
somebody sit on it and fall off and die or something?
No, it was a kid's thing. I just remember like in the morning, because this was in the middle of the night. And I remember in the morning, my mother was like, she yelled about it, I had to clean it. Let's just put it this way. I'm sure my parents were nothing like your parents.
No, my earliest child memory was my cousin, who's 4 years younger than me. Well, he was breech, and when they pulled him out, he broke his arm. And I remember standing in front of his crib. This is my earliest memory, and he had like a little blue sling on. I remember it vividly. And and I was only 4.
Baby?
Yeah, as a baby. I was 4.
Wow.
He was when he came home from the hospital. And my other memory is my Aunt Gal, who I love to this day, who had survived COVID and everything in the beginning. And she was like my cool aunt. Like she'd always give me her old records, and she had like a convertible, and she picked me up when I was like 15 and take me to the beach with her and stuff. She was just cool. And so I was like the first grandson and the first male in the family, because it was all daughters up to this point. And I remember she had a gray bike. I remember everything about the bike. It was a gray bike, had a little seat on the back fender, and she put me on the back, and we were riding around the property on the grass in Queens, because they had a pretty big house. We hit a bump, and I went flying off, and I smashed my head on the ground. And I remember her coming up to me going, please, don't tell anybody. They'll never let me watch you again. Please, I'm so sorry. You're okay. You're okay. And it's like we joke about it all the time. She remembers it vividly also. And she goes, I can't believe that you could remember that. She goes, I think you were 5 or 6.
Wow.
Well, you remember traumatic stuff. I mean, you're more likely to remember.
But it wasn't really traumatic. I mean, but it was just, I remember her begging me, please don't tell your parents. They'll never let me watch you again. And we have so much fun together.
John? Did you ever tell?
No, I don't think I did. But that's like my earliest memories,
Right.
Now let's hear about Joe.
Certain things.
Well, I remember when I was a kid. I mean, like in a playpen. So.
Wow.
Yeah, and The sun,
What was there with you?
What?
What did you have in the playpen?
It was I had a little broom because I was very clean, and so one of the neighborhood kids who was about 7 or something that asked my mother if he could play with me, and my mother goes, "All right, but remember, Joseph's a baby. You gotta you gotta be really careful because, like I said, my mother was overprotective and everything." She goes in the house, and all of a sudden she hears this crying. And she comes running out because she thinks like something's happening to me and like screaming. And I got the broom in my hand and I whacked the kid over the head with it. Yeah.
And then you throw it.
And then he did mannequin.
Yeah, that was you curling. That was your early curling.
That's it. That was
There you go. That's the obsession with curling right there.
Tried to sweep his head off his body.
Oh my god!
I had a thing like that when I was a kid. My mother told me, remember, I'm older than you guys, but remember, like kids shovels and rakes, like with a pail.
Yeah,
They used to be made out of metal.
Yeah.
Not
Oh my
plastic.
god, that's crazy.
And there was a kid down the block named Aldo, and apparently I had a fight with him, and he came running into my mother with a rake sticking out of the side of his head.
Oh my god! No
And he
way.
went, "Your son did this," and I remember getting in trouble. But I know how old I was.
And Aldo was never the same after that.
Yeah. Then he went on to be Aldo Cella, and we all had his line.
He got passed over, and he was like what's his name in The Godfather. I was the older one. I should have. Aldo.
So, Jen, do you remember your earliest
I
memory?
remember a few things here and there. You know how they're just kind of brief.
Sure.
I was outside making a snowman with my mom, like 3 or.
In
Arizona?
Which is tough to do. It's tough to do.
It snows? I had no
It
idea.
snowed. Sometimes it
In March of it, yeah.
in April. No, it snowed, and so my mom from Michigan, and she always play with us and everything. So we were outside making a snowman. So all dressed in our winter. Yeah, it was just one day it snowed. It was gone the next day.
Did he have a corn?
That's probably why you remember it.
Button
Had a
nose
pot pipe and a button nose.
and 2 eyes made out of coal.
So, going with the snowman
Yeah.
theme, Mike called me this morning and wished me happy birthday as Frosty the Snowman.
Oh,
Happy birthday,
Jackie Vernon.
Jackie Vernon.
oh.
Jackie
That's
Vernon, New
true.
York.
That's true. He calls me this morning and he goes, "Okay, Frosty the Snowman, wishing you happy birthday." I was like, "What?"
Happy birthday.
That's freaking great.
Oh, wait, I thought Jackie Vernon.
Jackie Vernon was the voice of in
Frosty
Frosty
the
the Snowman special.
And
in
wasn't it
1960.
Durant? And wasn't it Durante's voice narrating?
Jimmy Durante.
Everybody know that Frosty was made of Christmas snow.
How come we're not going out for more auditions, Mike? You were talking about that. Not to change the subject, but just.
Well, I'm gonna put a push on it. You know what? I've been because of COVID.
What did you say because of COVID? Well, and you said I'm not going to go in for one line, and I go, you don't have to go in. You do it from home.
Well, I've done a couple because I haven't been pushing my agent basically because. Yeah, I can do it from home, but then if they call you in to go work, then you got to go work. And
so are you afraid of COVID? I was just interested about that.
Well, I think I'm one of the only people I know that hasn't got. Me and my wife have not gotten COVID. And
I haven't.
Is that
Me,
why?
My wife, Craig, and John.
But when you work on the set, everybody's like every day tested, and then you have to wear masks.
Well, now I think I've had an abnormal fear of it. Now I'm starting to relax. Like I said,
really?
I started going to the gym again. Yeah, I mean, well, I have, I have some pre-existing conditions. I right in the beginning of the pandemic, I had a blood clot from my ankle to my groin, and my leg was swollen. No, so this was right in the beginning, and it set the tone for the whole pandemic. It really spoiled the pandemic for me.
And you have knee problems too, right?
My knees are shot to hell.
What else? Oh, and you have plugged bowels, and what else?
No, they're empty now. They're empty now.
Right, you have empty bowels. That's right.
I've got empty the bowels. No, other than that, I mean, Come on, look at this.
Did Craig talk about his early?
Yeah, no, we didn't get to Craig yet. We're
Oh,
saving
okay.
it.
I have several, but I'm trying to think of the one that's the most entertaining.
Yeah.
The true earliest one I remember being in my crib
With Chauncey
And-
Howell.
it was Chauncey Howell, and
No, that was Chauncey Gardner.
he gave me a boost. I'm not going to tell you where. And no, I was in my crib in my bedroom, and it was early morning. It was like 7, I guess. I don't know.
The time doesn't matter. He's like, I think it was around 7.
No, I'll tell. Well, it is important
Could have
because
been
my
10.
mom.
It could have been 10
All right, it
after.
was 7.
My mom used to work nights as a waitress, so
Right.
she would come home around that time. So I climbed out of my crib, and their bedroom was right across the hall. And I went across the hall, and I remember the old green and white portable black and white TV that my parents had in the bedroom. And she said, "Oh, you're up." And she sat me down with a pillow, and she turned on Courageous Cat for me to watch.
Courageous Cat and Minute Mouse.
Right.
Minute Mouse, yeah.
That's my earliest memory. I mean, I climbed out of a crib. I had to be like 2,
Right.
Wow.
maybe,
Was that-
maybe 3, probably
So
not
was
3.
that your favorite cartoon then after that?
I love Courageous Cat. I also like the show called The Big World of Little Adam. Big world, little Adam, big world, little. I guess I'm the
I
only one.
don't even remember
I
that.
never,
Yeah,
heard that I never heard of that in my
I
life.
remember
Crusader Rabbit. I remember
Gigantor. You remember
Oh yeah, that was
Gigantor?
when I was older.
Yeah,
Gigantor.
Crusader Rabbit.
What's that?
Crusader Rabbit.
I don't remember
Oh, I
Crusader
remember
Rabbit.
that. Yeah.
Speed
Yeah, I
Racer.
remember
When I was like 7 or 8,
Speed
it was
Racer.
Speed Racer and Gigantor and Eighth Man. He's Tobor, the Eighth Man.
Right.
Oh, and of course, Grape Ape and Magilla. Magilla. This is Magilla's son right here.
What
Hey,
Magilla.
Mr. People.
that. What is
Not
that?
really. I
Would-
love
this is the new patch for my jean jacket. This is
Oh,
I'm gonna matter of
It's a
fact, I'm
huge
gonna iron it
patch.
and sew it later. It's
gonna put it on? Really? Like on the back of your?
on the back of one of my vests. Yeah.
Wow.
You should have that tattooed on the back of your head.
Yeah, do that.
I have
So
that.
when you're riding down
tattooed
the
on the back of
street,
my
people
ass.
think they won't be able to tell whether you're coming or going.
Oh.
Actually, you should just get that tattooed on your back.
Have you ever seen those guys that have tattoos of their faces on the back of their heads?
Yeah.
No.
Biker guys, it's really frightening.
You mean on the back of their head?
On the back of
No.
their head, they have a face tattooed, like a
Oh.
realistic looking face.
Wow.
So
When they ride their motorcycles, it almost looks like their head's on backwards.
No, but
Wow.
I've
You
seen
can't
some
tell if they're
weird
coming or
tattoos.
going.
I've seen a guy. I knew a guy had a tattoo. It was a dotted line across his neck, and it said "cut along the dotted line."
Oh my god.
I knew a guy under his tongue. It said "fuck you," so he would.
Yeah.
And they put his tongue up, and it said.
Oh wow. Is that growing up or lately?
No, this was
That's
after
his
I'd already
nanny.
been corrupted.
That was
That
his
was-
dad.
Nanny,
You have to be
Nanny.
real, Mike.
this memory. It's my nanny.
You-
Mike, you have to be awfully close to that person to read under their tongue. So I guess he would save it for intimate moments.
I know a lot of people
No,
have it
if
on
he-
the
he would
inside of their
stick his
lip.
tongue-
They
inside
put
the
on
lip
inside of their
too.
lip. That must hurt like hell.
The best one I ever saw. I saw a guy with hinges on the back of his knees. I thought that was and it looked so real.
You ever see the tattoo? The guy will like have a bald head on the
Yeah.
top, just the top of his head. He
Yeah.
has a tattoo of a guy with a lawnmower. It's
Yeah, I've
really
seen
funny.
it.
Saw that. That's
It's
hilarious.
I
really
don't-
funny.
I don't
I can't get a
understand.
tattoo.
I don't understand people that have them on their fit. Like today, listen, when I got my tattoos, they were unusual. And this is just the truth. The only
Right.
people that
Yeah.
had tattoos were bikers, guys in the Navy, and out
And
and criminals.
prostitutes.
And well, I don't know, but that's the only
You
because
don't
I
know.
remember. I don't what prostitute like what I wasn't looking for their tattoos when I. Well, you a sailor or a hooker? I can't tell. No, I don't
Yeah.
know.
Prostitute.
And sailors had them for a reason. It was like a sailor would get an earring or a tattoo, and that was a symbol that you would cross the equator.
Right.
You know. Now today, everyone's like, guys, like you can see a grandmother's got a freaking tattoo on her
Yeah.
boob, and it's like, gee, Granny, when did you cross the equator?
I can't think of anything that I like enough to have permanently put on my body.
Yeah.
Well, for me, alcohol was the big decider. I remember the first one I got. It was this tiny little skull right here. You can't, whatever. It's a little, and it was in right across from Belmont Racetrack. There was a tattoo parlor because they were illegal in the city, and we were drinking all night. And I just remember it's like, the guy puts the little skull and it's got a peacock's feather through the eye. And just as he finished it, he goes, "Wow." He goes, "You're brave." I go, "Why?" He goes, "That's the symbol for bad luck." And I'm like,
Oh,
you
Jesus.
tell me that after you put it on, you piece of shit.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen these pictures of these terribly misspelled tattoos?
Oh,
Yes.
God.
No.
I mean, how would you do that? Like, I mean, they totally misspell the word. Like it'll say respect, but it doesn't say respect.
Yeah.
It'll say like they'll forget one of the letters.
Yeah.
And it's like
those are prison those are either prison tattoos or you let your drunk, stupid friend put it on you. Those aren't professional tattoos.
Yeah.
I know. It's like you look at it and you go, what do you do? And then there used to be a show called Tattoo Cover-Ups. And the guy, I mean, some of the tattoos, this guy walked in and he goes, "This is going to be the worst tattoo you've ever seen."
Oh,
And the guy goes, and they would make fun of the bad tattoos. The guy goes, "This is the worst one you've ever seen." And he goes, "Where is it?" He goes, "It's on my back." He takes off his shirt, and no bullshit, there is a turd this big tattooed on his back, walking along with a halo over it, and it says in letters this big, "Holy shit," across his back.
Oh my God.
And the two guys just went, "Oh my God, you're right. This is the worst tattoo we've ever seen in our lives, but we can cover it." By the time they got done, the guy's back was like a mural to cover this thing. They'll start with a tattoo this big, and then when they're done, it's like that big.
It just pisses me. I feel like my identity's been stolen because it is like when I met you and whatever, there were, like I said, people didn't have tattoos.
No, they didn't.
Normal people. I'm gonna walk down the street and you'd see people look at you and they had either "Whoa, hey, stay away from whatever."
Yeah.
And now it's like I said, everyone's got them. It's just
tattoo.
stole my identity, sons.
And wasn't there a time, excuse me, Craig, was there a time where if you were Jewish, you weren't allowed to get a tattoo to be buried in a Jewish cemetery?
I'm sure you're still not.
Still is.
Right.
Yeah.
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah, my mother said that to me. She goes, "Now you know you can't be buried in a Jewish cemetery." I'm like, I don't want to be next to a bunch of fucking Jews anyway.
And I'm sure your mother loved that statement.
Yeah.
No, my mother had the best sense of humor. She still does. I make my mother laugh constantly.
So your mom's Jewish and your dad was Catholic?
No, both of my parents are Jewish.
Oh, okay, but you said you were baptized, but no, you were just joking.
I wasn't joking. Actually, I went on a spiritual journey for years and just trying to find different things. And I took Bible classes and whatever, and got baptized at one time. Hedging my bets, man.
I just can't.
That's interesting, Mike. I went on a spiritual journey too. Oh, wait. No. I was on Spirit Airlines. Never mind.
Oh my!
I can't picture you on.
That's a different trip. I was trying to go to heaven. You were trying to go to Trenton.
I can't believe.
I say the magic word, Jan.
Huh?
Am I alone? But can anyone here picture Mike on a spiritual journey?
Yeah, I'm going on a spiritual journey.
All I see is the.
I don't make fun of anybody's religion, but I just can't picture you as like.
Here I come.
Man,
I can see him with the white robes.
Let me tell you, man.
With
You
the
take
white-
enough.
white-
You smoke enough angel dust, man, and you will go on a spiritual journey.
I keep picturing the Crusades. That's what I picture.
Have you guys? I mean, we talked about like child stuff. Have you guys? What was like? Did you guys really do? I mean, I know setting my house on fire is pretty stupid, but what is? What is like?
Desert on fire.
What is some of the most dangerous things you've done?
Oh,
that
Oh, I
you
thought
like?
it was dangerous. Dangerous was the fire.
Dangerous.
Well, let's go one at a time, like we were, so we don't.
Okay.
Go ahead,
Mike.
Jan.
Mike,
you
you
want me?
must have
I
something.
don't know. Dangerous.
Me?
We give Jan time to think about.
Okay.
Is
Well-
danger is her middle name?
Yeah, exactly.
I had what I call my stupid phase. Like I remember jumping out of a moving car just because I was curious how it would feel. I basically felt this was an accident, kind of not, but we were climbing out of a third-story window, and I was hanging out. It was those the abandoned buildings, and we had thrown the fire hose from the hallway out the window, and my friends were climbing down. And these were skinny little guys. I forgot that I was 280 pounds and drunk. So I climb out the window and holding onto this fire hose, and I almost immediately realized I can't hold my weight. And three stories down, man. And I remember the bricks as they were passing. You know,
Did you really get hurt? Did you get hurt? Did you get hurt bad?
you know what? The beautiful thing, God looks out for idiots and drunks, and I was
Yeah,
both.
they always say that.
So what happened is I didn't lock up. My body collapsed. I sprained my ankles, messed up my knees, my back, and then I had to walk 2.5 miles to get out of this. We were on Roosevelt. We were on Welfare Island. It was called at the time. It's called Roosevelt Island now, but
That's scary.
But I've done lots of dating. I've had how many of you? Three different times in my life I've had a gun put to my head. You know, that's you talk about not my own doing, but that's a scary situation to be in.
Wow.
Yeah, the last time was when we got you in the group.
What? Sorry, I talked over you. What? Go ahead.
Really, that is scary.
Punchline. Go ahead, Craig. What?
What? See what?
Huh?
See what? Oh, dangerous. I'm actually.
No, what did you just say that you had a good joke?
Oh, he said I had a gun put to his head. I said the last time is when we got you to go get into this group.
Oh, yes. They said they're going to work with Craig Mitchell.
All right,
You need a gun for that.
I got one. I got like the worst, stupidest thing in the world. I was in first grade. Always young when I was doing this. And this friend of mine and I found a box of bullets.
Ooh.
And we took a hammer
Oh my
and we
god!
laid him down on like a cinder block.
Wait. Let's back this up. Where did you find the box of bullets?
Yeah, where does somebody find a box of bullets?
Yeah,
He just
exactly.
found it.
Yeah, my father
In my
had
dad's drawer.
In a locked
my
safe.
father's drawer.
Yeah.
So we stole it. We put, and went outside and there were some bricks and put the thing down and just started hitting the bullet. And then hit the lead end. Of course, nothing happened. Didn't know how bullets or anything work. Then all of a sudden hit the casing and man, it was the loudest noise ever. It was a 22.
Yeah.
So we're both trying and we're doing it. And it's like my cousin who lived next door is 5 years old. He goes, "What are you guys doing?" Look at this. This is so cool. And he was smart enough to take the bullets away from us and saying that you could kill yourself because you're basically making an open air gun.
Wow.
Jeez,
Son of a gun, man. That's
is
pretty
badass.
badass.
That is pretty dumb.
So the smart guy was 5. How old were you?
17.
I was 30.
26.
It was first grade, and my cousin was 5 years older, so I don't know.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I had my cousin gave me a target bow, like a pretty powerful target bow, and it had like metal tipped arrows, not hunting arrows, but those target arrows.
Right.
Yeah.
So we were trying to figure out how powerful this thing was. So my friend Ken goes, "Let's take it up to the schoolyard and see how far the arrows go."
Are you talking about the arrows that go into those big hay?
Yeah. Metal
Okay.
tip arrows.
I
Yeah.
got you.
Oh my god.
So we stood in the middle of the field and we pulled the bow back as far as we could and we shot the arrow straight up in the air till it went out of sight. And then we go, "Shit, where's it gonna come down?"
Oh my.
And then you just stand there in panic because you don't know where it's gonna come down because you can't even see it. And it would come down, it would go into the dirt about this far. And then we did it about 8 times. We didn't get hit the first time.
They stole that from for a Sandler movie. They did that one of Adam Sandler's movies. They shot an arrow in the air, and I think it went down in Schneider. It went into Schneider's foot, and I think it was one of the Grown Up movies.
Oh, it's so funny, but yeah, I mean, I remember that vividly, and
that's scary.
Yeah, that was pretty nuts. That was pretty.
No,
nuts.
that's just plain stupid.
Yeah.
I said that's what I said. This is called "What Stupid Things Did You Do?" Dangerous.
Yeah. I had a friend, Eddie, and in high school, he'd always do crazy things like jump off the roof into our swimming pool.
Right.
And he was a daredevil guy. But was it him that? Okay, I think we were at somewhere like a concert or a game or something. Somebody down. It's not dangerous, but it's kind of like awful. So somebody downstairs was carrying 2 sodas, and they didn't have lids. 2 drinks, and he spit from above. It landed right in the guy's drink. The person didn't know, and it was like, oh my god! He just kept walking, and it's like, wow, that was bullseye. So
It's
it's-
crammed
that was,
into a $30 soda.
That is
Yeah.
that is such
yeah,
a kid.
that was before COVID. So
That's such a disgusting kid's thing to do.
yeah, right, yeah.
What about you, Craig?
Well, you have to remember, there was something wrong with me then and now. When I was about 5, I thought it was really a good idea to go around my neighborhood. I don't know why I did this, and I would go to the back of a car, and I would bend the license plate into a 90-degree angle, and I did it all over my neighborhood. And so my older brother had to go out later and bend all the plates back because people were pissed off. But
Well, how did you do
there,
that?
there was this black, I think it was a Pontiac in a driveway, and I did not get the plate. So I go down the back of the car and I'm bending the plate up, and the car started. And it started, and I see the red lights come on, and I just lay down, the car backed over me.
No way.
Wow.
That is
Wow.
insane.
Wow.
I know.
That must have been high off the ground.
And then
shot.
when I pop
It was
up
a
after the car
monster. It was a
passes,
monster. It was a monster.
I pop up after the car passes, and the woman driving the car is like, "What the?"
Ma'am, could you stop, please? I didn't finish quite bending your plate.
Yeah, I know. I don't even know how
That's
far I got with
insane.
it, but yeah, I bent all the license plates in the neighborhood. I did.
Oh wow. And then you
Wow.
went into
You
mentalism.
could, I should be dead. I'm just glad I was a fat little kid. I'm glad I cleared everything under that
That's
car.
amazing. The things. I mean, I
That's why I
remember.
said it was a monster truck.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I remember jumping from rooftop to rooftop, and that was another thing. In the projects, there were 6-story buildings, and they were close enough where there was just a fence. They had a fence between them to dissuade you from. But we would climb the fence and then jump to the next building,
Ah,
And
Like,
never,
Talking about you bending your plates. Like back in the 60s, I had like my surf wagon. It was like a station wagon with curtains in the back and everything. And I had on the back of it, it was an American Eagle. Like they used to sell them like a decal. And then where the olive leaves or whatever olive branches are, I put a big peace sign.
yeah.
And I came outside and I loved it. And it was big, and it was on the back of my car. And I came outside one morning and there was my neighbor with a razor blade scraping it off my car.
Oh, I would have nuts.
Yeah.
man.
oh man,
Wow.
that would,
And I was like, what? So my dad was getting ready for work, and my dad came out and started yelling at the guy. You don't ever have the right to touch my son's car. What the other guy's going? He must be a communist, a hippie bastard, blah, blah, blah. And we got into this big neighbor fight that I was like a hippie and the neighbor hated
Oh
me.
my God.
And my dad really stuck up for me. I was pretty impressed,
good for him.
Yeah, it was a really cool moment, because
Yeah.
at the time I didn't know whether my dad appreciated that I had long hair and stuff,
Right.
And I remember there was a wedding that we had to go once. He paid me $50 and I cut my hair.
Tell
Oh,
the truth, though.
wow.
Tell the truth now. What was what little things over the years did you get even with that neighbor? Come on, you must have keyed his
He
car. You've
moved.
done.
He actually moved. He
He just didn't want to
He
listen
had
to
to.
commies, huh?
Yeah, he actually moved. He didn't want to be next to like peaceniks.
Yeah, freaking.
It's nice to know that things have changed so much since then.
I
Hasn't
know.
changed at all.
I
You
know.
talk about peace, love, and understanding, and they're like, "You're taking my rights. I got the right to be a hating bastard."
And meanwhile, I'm peeling off Joe Biden stickers on gas pumps.
Yeah, that's so annoying. What
What do you mean?
they
I
have
don't
these
know.
Joe
Oh, they have
Biden
stickers that Joe Biden pointing at the price, going,
Oh, right.
let's go, Brandon.
No, it
Yeah,
says,
yeah,
I did this."
That
which
too.
is so
That's
ridiculous because the Republicans vetoed the big bill that would have brought gas prices down because they just want them to look bad.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. How about this? How about yesterday? They had all those hearings, about gun violence, like we talked about a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
Right.
And then they interviewed these Republicans. One of these Republicans actually said the reason why of course, now they're all on the mentally ill train.
Mhm.
People only have because there's nothing else they can defend it with. So now
Right.
it's an issue of mentally ill. This guy actually said the reason why people are shooting up schools is because they're mentally ill because we've taken prayer out of schools.
Oh my God.
You know what though? It's only the politicians mostly because I mean,
Yeah.
I have friends. I was talking to my buddy yesterday, and he's in Texas, and this guy has a collection of guns that I am envious of because I love guns. I don't have any. I never had any of those automatic. I don't need them, but handguns and things like that. And I've fired AK-47s and all these different whatever. But this guy's a Texan and he's a gun nut. And even he goes, it's ridiculous. They need to ban these things. He goes, if you need more than a handgun to defend yourself or your house, then you need more help than anyone can give you. It's just bullshit. It's like,
Well, the other thing that's ridiculous is they talk about the Second Amendment rights and they go, well, we need to defend ourselves against tyrannical governments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good luck with that. I'm sure your freaking automatic weapon is going to really repel the Apache
Well, we
helicopter.
had 4 years of a tyrannical government. Nobody shot anybody.
Let me know when you have a tank, buddy. Let me know when you have a tank.
Well, the best part,
and
I was watching a video the other day, and this guy brought up a great point. He's like, these guys talk about, you can have my gun when you come from my pride. These are these guys that they're busting now for the whole Capitol thing, the Oath Keepers and the Proud Boy. Meanwhile, they're arresting them. They're not putting up a fight. They're going calmly. They're where's the big shootout, guys?
Yeah.
I mean,
did you see Kyle Rittenhouse? Kyle Rittenhouse went on the news saying, "I'm going to Texas A&M," and Texas A&M was like, "No, no, you're not."
Yeah,
and he's like, "I can't go anywhere. I need security everywhere."
No, the best he can do is he can go to Texas A&P.
He wants to sue the media because they've ruined his reputation.
Yeah, no,
his reputation is a murdering little shit.
Yeah,
that should have been in jail.
Yeah,
that should be his reputation. Good for everybody for banning him.
Yeah.
Well, the Republicans made him an intern to some congressman.
Yeah.
Well, I mean that's because they are bending over backwards to lick the ass of the bottom line constituencies, the low lives who, because it's not all Republicans. It's not even all conservatives. I know a lot of guys that are just totally against all this shit, that want to hear the truth and the real. The problem is that even on both sides, the liberal media is so jaded for so many years. And that's what pissed a lot of people off. It's like they're tired of being made to feel like there's something wrong with them because they're conservative. And I have no problem with conservatives. I have absolutely no problem with I don't agree with their policies, but if they're good, honest people and they believe what they believe, that's fine. But they're just lying to cover up so much shit that they,
I have some personal conservative views. I lean way left, but I have some conservative views, so I can sympathize.
Well, that's because one leg is shorter than the other. That's why you lean left.
Say that. You took my joke. I was going to go, you can fix that with some corrective shoes when you lean to the left. Well, it's like so tonight is at 8:00 prime. Well, last night, I guess, because it's will air tomorrow. Last night they're going to have the first hearings, the insurrection hearings. It's being covered by ABC, NBC, MSNBC, CNN. It's on every live streaming media.
You missed one.
News, what?
Oh, that's it.
And Fox News decided they're not covering it.
No, they're rerunning the Benghazi hearings.
Yeah.
Good one.
Yeah.
But yeah, they decided that they're not running it because they can't, because they're still spreading the big lie.
Yeah.
It's incredible. It's incredible. But
well, hey, I got an idea. I'm going to play devil's advocate. I'll be the conservative, whatever. You guys come at me with all your complaints about conservatives. Go ahead.
What?
Tell me what's like if you were talking to a conservative and you'd say, well, you don't need your gun, whatever the issue is. Just come at me with it. Go ahead, and I'll answer you.
Why? I need an AK-47 to protect
her emails.
Oh, I said for taking women's right to choose away.
Hey, Hunter Biden's laptop.
Oh,
yeah. It's like
I see where this is going.
I see. Yeah. Okay.
It's just spin the story.
Yeah.
And does anybody know? Did Biden select the DOJ? Garland.
Yes, he did. Yes, he had to, of course.
So that guy's got to go too. He's like on the Trump train.
Well, the one complaint that I do agree,
he's moderate.
I agree with Republicans and conservatives. And I mean, he does earn the name Sleepy Joe. I mean, he's an old man. He doesn't seem to have a lot of enthusiasm or energy. And after Trump, we needed somebody who's like, we needed like Pete Buttigieg. We needed. I was a Bernie guy.
I was a
Bernie's
Buttigieg
old too,
guy.
but at least he had a lot of energy. We needed somebody who could rattle a cage, and we got a guy who needs a nap.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
wait,
Now, I don't know. I think that, to be really honest, I think that Biden is certainly has empathy. I think his heart's in the right place. But you know what?
Yeah,
You can
3
only
surgeries will
certain-
do that.
But anything you do, it's like anything you do when you have everyone against you that won't let you do anything that's right. After a while, it's just ridiculous. I mean, when you have Mitch McConnell go, let's make him a one-term president. Anything he says, it's not going to get across my desk.
Where is he
I
coming
mean,
out
that's
really
not
strong?
democracy.
Where is he coming out really strong in the court of public opinion? A stronger, younger man would have come out and go, and just with power and a personality. I mean, like I said, if he had
because he is very old school and he tries to do everything bipartisan.
but times
and I
have
don't think it
changed.
works. And I don't think it works because there is no bipartisanship anymore.
Did you see what he said on Jimmy Kimmel the other night?
No, I missed it.
He basically said the reason why we don't act like the Republicans is because I should say the extremist Republicans, he says, because if we do, then our democracy is really gone. Somebody has to play by the rules. He's what
he
said.
said, I'm not going to overstep the Constitution like Trump did.
No, but you can have a bigger, broader personality, be more persuasive, have a little more energy to really, because you know what? I got news for you. The president is a salesman. That's why Trump did so well, because the president is a salesman, basically a con artist in a lot of ways. A liar, a con artist. And I'm not talking about Trump, I'm talking about them all. They have to sell this stuff that sometimes they don't even believe in. And like I said, Biden doesn't have the energy for it.
I don't think that's what happened with Biden. I remember watching these debates, and the thing is, Biden wasn't doing well, but all of a sudden he started doing well because you know what? He was the only person who everybody didn't want Trump anymore, or a lot of people didn't want Trump, and he was the only person they trusted that had experience and who was at least a little bit presidential. That's why
he was the lesser of the evils.
He absolutely was.
But that doesn't make you the best.
That's absolutely true.
Saying the others were evils.
No.
I actually saw them interviewing
We just
some.
wouldn't go too progressive for the people that were going to vote.
They would have if the choice was Trump or Bernie. And I don't care if you're a Democrat or any kind of independent, and you saw what Trump had done for 4 years, you would have said, "Go ahead, vote for Trump." Then, and no, they would have all voted for Bernie, and Bernie would have been president. But they didn't have the balls
because they spread the big lie about that Bernie was a socialist.
But the only people that believed that were the nuts,
and the
crazy
conservatives,
people.
and the conservatives.
Like I said.
By the way, speaking of Trump. Fox is actually going to do something about the insurrection tonight. Actually, they're playing the movie Star Trek Insurrection, so they're getting closer.
They're going to take some Viagra for the insurrection of the insurrection.
The insurrection, but the thing is, I really wonder. I don't think anybody's going to jail. I just hope that whatever comes out in these trials, that it prevents Trump from running again. Yes. That's all. That's the minimum I want from this show.
I personally don't believe he's going to run.
The craziest
I know you don't, but I think he is.
But the craziest part is everyone in the world knows what happened at the insurrection, except for the people that watch Fox, and they're still not going to watch this.
No, that's not true. They do know, because in the beginning they were all pissed off too. They were coming up. They've just been, they've allowed themselves to make it. It's not so bad. If somebody keeps reinforcing, oh, please, you're making a big deal. You're making a big deal. They start believing that shit. And that's what Fox is guilty of. Because in the beginning, they all, even Mitch McConnell and all the McCarthy and all of them said, no, this is terrible. And, Trump is to blame and this, that, and the other thing. But then as days went on, they were more interested in winning the midterms and how they look for the midterms than the truth and really rooting out the evil in their own party.
You'd think once you get their age, you wouldn't have to worry about midterms anymore.
But that's, that's
a school joke. That was a school joke.
Midterm. Well, but terms, they need term limits. These guys should not be allowed to stay in there and just, it just breeds corruption.
I'll tell you what I'm worried about. The voter turnout in California for the primaries this week were the lowest in years, 10% turnout. Wow. And there's no fervor. And look at Pennsylvania. Dr. Oz won the runoff there. Dr. friggin' Oz.
Yeah.
He is
I mean,
runoff.
come on. I mean, everybody's talking about the blue wave. I don't see it, man. I think it'd go in a totally
Well,
different.
let's hope that this whole thing with gun violence, this whole thing with this trial may change a lot of stuff. It may
Well,
get
did you
people fired
did
up.
you hear they arrested a guy too, right outside Kavanaugh's house? The Supreme
Yeah.
Court, and we know what I think. I think the Supreme Court justices really need to be protected. They should have the same security that any elementary school kid has. They should have that same security.
And what's
It's the
really
first-
infuriating is Mitch McConnell gets in front of all of the Senate and goes, "We must pass this right now. No more fiddling around."
Hey, that's
About
not a
the
bad Mitch
protection.
McConnell.
I think
About what?
There must. It was about to protect the Supreme Court. You would think you'd have the same fervor about gun control to save our kids, but no.
They say
It's
it's
all-
the
it's-
first time in history that the entire Supreme Court is in hiding every night.
It's
And that guy also, on his list in his pocket, after he shot Kavanaugh, he was going to shoot Mitch McConnell.
well, there's something I could say, but I'm not. Gonna say
We're all thinking it.
No,
You're
it's wrong. That
Your
isn't,
declaration
that's-
is not going to be that way.
listen, that is just as wrong as the
I
nuts on the
know.
other side. It's totally not the answer. It's like, if we don't have some kind of sanity, you're right. We don't have a then let it collapse, because then it's all anarchy. You can't go around
Besides,
killing people to answer.
Besides, he's a turtle. He has a shell. It would
if
bounce.
you're gonna
off.
kill people, I believe in capital punishment. I do. I think rapists, child molesters, murderers. I don't see the reason to keep them in prisons. They should. Totally believe in capital punishment, but not. It's just insane. You don't kill somebody because you have differences of opinions.
And I believe everybody who stormed the Capitol should be punished. Thank you so much.
All right. Say to Shigo, wait, I win $100, and Shigo up your butt.
I mean, I believe, I guess, in capital punishment, but it's got to me, it would have to be convincing DNA evidence. Because there are a lot of people that probably met old Sparky that didn't need to.
Well,
Yeah.
I don't know. I think, but I'll be honest with you. I mean, I'm a little overboard. Like, I think the people out stealing packages off of my porch, capital punishment.
Pirate.
If you're stealing catalytic converters, capital punishment.
Capital punishment.
That's a big thing in California. That's not so big in Florida.
What if they steal your jokes?
Capital punishment.
Amy Schumer would be dead 5 times.
Yeah.
Well, hey guys, I think we got to get going here.
Oh,
Yeah.
Wow.
We're a
Yeah.
little over the
That's the hour.
time here. Yeah. So
oh,
let's.
okay.
Well,
Let's
John,
Oh, I have.
happy birthday, man. Do you have anything special? I know that beautiful lady you guys took for breakfast.
Yeah, we're going out to dinner with Lane's Merge and his wife.
Nice.
We're
Oh.
going out with my sister and her husband and my cousin. We're going to one of those hibachi places because they're kind
Oh,
of fun.
nice.
Oh, sweet.
I like
That's
those places.
Well, you do all the work, but okay.
No.
Well-
The one where the guy throws the shrimp onto his hat and
Oh,
stuff.
okay.
Oh,
But
cool.
John,
Okay.
you have this habit. John, people don't know this about you, but you will call us on our birthday and you will sing a
Yes.
happy birthday melody. Now, I didn't have a lot of time to prepare, but I wrote a happy birthday song for you. I want to do it. Okay.
All right.
Oh.
All
Okay,
right.
here you go. Yeah. Here, you ready? Here it is. This is your birthday song. It isn't very long. That's all I wrote. So I hope you enjoy it.
Oh.
See, my birthday medley's up to 7 minutes now.
No kidding. I know. I have to. Once I get it, I have to delete all my other messages because I don't have room.
Mine was continued on the next phone.
But seriously, John, man, I just want to say, hey, happy birthday! I
Hey,
love you,
thank
man, and
you.
have just the most
Thanks.
incredible.
We love you,
incredible
John.
day.
Thank
Happy
you.
birthday. Happy birthday.
Happy
to you.
birthday.
Yeah.
Happy
Yay.
birthday.
Thanks. Well, hey, that concludes our show today. And let's have a round of applause for Mike Grief,
Yay.
Yay.
Joe Silky,
Yay.
Greg Mitchell,
I can't applaud because I'm using the mouse.
the
Yay.
very lovely Jan
I'll applaud
Karam,
for you. Yay!
and her cat. And
I
my name is John Ferrantino, and you can catch us on the BBBradio.com. You can catch us on
Facebook.
Facebook, the Big Bad Broadcast. We're on Twitter. We're on
Instagram.
We still getting those backpacks?
Ha ha ha!